Hey guys, Rolando from ReveMoto, and today we are working on this 2014-2021 Toyota Tundra driver's side fender removal and installation. As you guys can see, this fender right here is all smacked up right here, and we got an already painted to match fender ready to install in this vehicle right here. So if you guys need a painted fender already color matched to your exact color of your vehicle, go to ReveMoto.com, your pre-painted auto body part source, where we ship all these parts already color matched the exact color of your vehicle. Now all you gotta do is install it yourself with the help of this video. Let's go ahead and get started. So a couple things I like to do is tape off like the adjacent panels, so whenever I'm actually installing the fender, I don't hit any of these, or if I do hit them, it's not gonna cause any issues. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is gonna go ahead and pop the hood open because we gotta take off the grille. So there's gonna be a cover right here. When the grille has this cover right here, go ahead and pop that open. Just like that. And there's gonna be a wire right here that you have to unclip. Sometimes it's hard to do, but if you guys have something flat, you can just press on this tab right here. Make it harder than it should be, but let's get it off this clip right here. There we go. So basically the clip is right here, and all it is, you just have to press down on this thing. But this one's like so on there, it's not even like pushing up the tab. All I did was kind of get like something flat. See how like thin it is? And I just kind of wedged it in here and pried it up. And it pops open. So on this one, guys, you're gonna have a push pin right here. It's gonna be a 10mm right here, a 10 right here, a 10 right here, a 10 right here, and another push pin right there. And on this push pin right here, all you gotta do is get something like a flathead or something and push up on the tab. You guys can see it just comes right off. It gets brittle, so wear and tear, you know, it is an older vehicle and heat transfers. So it looks like this, and when it's depressed like that, let's go ahead and push up on it and it'll release the clip. So it's gonna be another one on the opposite side. Two of them. So it's gonna be something like this, guys. It's gonna be a 10mm. Like that. Have an extension. And you know, if you guys have a power tool, fantastic. If not, then a regular socket set would do also. It's gonna be 4 of them. It looks like that. Okay, so now on this one, all you gotta do is yank it. So first pull it up like that, and all you gotta do is yank it. It's like that. Just held down by tabs. Alright, so now you guys have these end caps right here. That's gonna be taken off with a push pin right there. Like that. And down here, guys, there's gonna be a 10mm right here and right here, and just take that off. All right, so now all we gotta do is pull right here, and it should just release itself. Go. It looks like this bracket's a little bit loose. So that's how you take off that end cap right there. So now we're gonna go ahead and take off the headlight. And taking off the headlight is gonna be like 10 millimeter here, 10 millimeter here. And I think that's it. And then one over there, I believe. But let's take off the top one. Let me just see if that's it. I think that's it actually. Yeah, so you just wiggle it out. So all you do is wiggle it out. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. There's another 10 millimeter right there. So there's another 10 millimeter right here. That's why I don't force it out, because sometimes I knew there was like gonna be 3, but I didn't see this one. But take it off like that. All right. So now I think you can just wiggle it off. So remember, you guys have these wires right here that you guys need to take off. Just unclip them. Sometimes there's a little bit toughy. So this one's giving me a little bit, just like the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and let it hang for a second. Go. I'm gonna go ahead and take off this bracket right here, but as you guys can see, this one's already coming off. It looks like he's missing something over here. Yeah, so this one's broken, this bracket. So right here, usually there's a clip and it looks like it's broken, but it looks like it's still usable. And then this one you just twist off like that. Comes right off. So down here is gonna be 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. And I believe underneath is gonna be a push pin. Let's go ahead and take this off. Oh, actually, another 10 millimeter back there. And then right underneath there is gonna be a push pin. All right, so okay, so now you have these tabs, right? Honestly, there's no way to save those. It's pretty hard. All I do is just kind of take them off as best I can, but I got new ones. They run like underneath the whole fender. So for me, I'll try to save some of them just in case, but honestly, you can't save them. They're like one-time use things. So as you guys can see, I just break them off. There's no point of saving them. They're just too hard to save. So this one I just push back a little bit because there's gonna be bolts back here that you have to take off. Let me see, I think it's one right here, and I think that's it. All right, so if you guys come back here, you guys can see that bolt right there. It's gonna be a 10 millimeter. You just take that off. The 10 right there. I believe there's one right here in the bottom. One right there in the bottom. This one is gonna be, there's like a lot of paint on it, so I'm just gonna use a ratchet to kind of loosen it up. Let's see if there's any bolts back here that I'm missing. That one's good. That one's good. Alright. Okay, so this truck is pretty high. So you guys can see if I move this cover right here, there's going to be a 10mm right there. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Alright. Right here in front of us, it's going to be another two 10mm. Alright, so we're going to roll up on top right here, and all we got to do is pull this way. Let's see. So you guys can see, it's held on by these clips right here, but if you just push this way, you won't break any of these clips. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and take off these bolts right here. Alright, so this fender should be ready to come off now. Let's go ahead and pull up right here. And pull up right here. And this puppy, let me see, am I missing anything? Hopefully not. Oh, there is a bolt here that I'm missing. So we're going to take that off. Let me show you guys. Like I always second guess myself, but you see that bolt right there? So this thing was covering it like that. And just go ahead and pull it, and you'll reveal that bolt right there. Camera angle wise, it's going to be hard to see, but again, as you guys know, it's just a 10mm. Get a longer extension. This is overkill, but this is the only one I have left. So now we should be able to take off the fender just like that. So before I put this on, again, if you guys need this fender already color match the exact color of your vehicle, go to ReveMoto.com, your pre-painted auto body parts stores. That's where we got this fender that's already color matched the exact color of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and put this on. So the first thing we're gonna do is gonna go ahead and put in all the accessories. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with all that. It's pretty simple. So all it is like this thing right here. It's gonna be a push pin right here. Gonna pry it out. Like that. This one you just push in, just like that, and then this one right here you push in too, just like that, and then this one, same thing. And now you have to kind of push this back out like that. So, sorry, my fingers are dirty. And basically, when you push it in, you gotta push it back out because you gotta. That's how it closes up on the new fender. On the new fender, I like to do it like this so I can remember how it was on there before. So this one's on there like this flap. This one has a clip right here. Then another clip right here. And then this thing goes in like this. Okay. So now, what else are we missing? So now you got all these top parts right here. So again, I like to just take them off one by one and start putting them back in one by one, so I don't forget. So these are pretty easy. They're all the same. Probably just go to the back and pinch the back. Yeah, you can just pinch the back. easier to remove that way. All right, once all the accessories are on the actual new fender, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. So what I like to do is grab like maybe 1 or 2 bolts. And since I'm working by myself, I don't want it to fall on me. So I like to put the bolts, I like to hand tighten the fender, the bolts onto the new fender so it doesn't fall down. The camera kind of shut off on me, but basically all I did was put the bolts on top and right here. So now I'm about to put the bolt on the side right here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the bolt right here. I'm just lining these all up. I'm not tightening them all up because in case there is a fitment issue, like this one right here is not. There you go. And again, the bolts right here, the one you can barely see. So you guys can see I'm not tying them all up yet. All I'm doing is putting the fender on with the bolts so I can now later on check the alignment, you know? So this one goes in here. And then one right down here. All right. So what I'd like to look at first, and I gotta remove all these tape. So what I like to look at first is the gap wise. Is it good right here? So this one is actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up the bolts in here. So as you guys can see, the line is good. So this one I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up. All right, put that cover back on there. Go. So this one again, I like this gap right here. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up. Okay. Then of course this one is good to go too. All right. This one we can go ahead and pull back, just like that. So now we're gonna look at the alignment on the hood right here. I'm gonna push this down. So just gonna check the other side to make sure. Yeah, so the gap is the same on the other side. So this one's good to go also. We're gonna go ahead and tighten up this area right here. All right, so now, since all these bolts are good to go, I'm gonna go and put that cover back on. So this cover, all you do is just slide it back in. Like that. And this one goes back in too. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the headlight on. I just want to make sure the bracket doesn't come on first. So it looks like the bracket actually does come on first. Go ahead and put that in. And then we'll put the headlight on. So again, we just plug it in. Everything should be plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead and slide that headlight in. Just like that. And one right here. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and put that end cap on. So the push pin's got to be up like this before you insert it in there. And over here, go ahead and insert these. So this is like the final check, just to make sure everything is good. And now you take all these new clips and put it onto the fender. Right. So now we're gonna go ahead and put the fender flare on. Oh, not fender flare, mud flap on. So remember, there's gonna be this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this clip underneath. And now, go ahead and tighten up these bolts right here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put that grill on. So the grill slides in here. Just make sure you have it in the holes. And it should be like that. And this white thing. And then of course put that clip back in. Alright, so you guys can see that color match is spot on. Look at that. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. And if you guys need a painted to match fender for your Tundra or any vehicle, go to ReveMoto.com, your pre-painted auto body part source. Comment down below if you guys have any questions. Thank you.